Hello students, welcome to English Made Easy with me, Dipali Rai. This is the second part of our English lesson, the sentence. If you remember, in our last class, we learnt that a sentence is a group of words that makes complete sense. We also learned that there are 4 kinds of sentences: assertive or declarative sentence, interrogative sentence, imperative sentence, and exclamatory sentence. If you remember well, in our last class, we dealt in detail with the first kind of sentence, that is the assertive or declarative sentence. An assertive sentence states, asserts, or declares something. An assertive sentence can further be divided into affirmative sentence and negative sentence. Now, what do we exactly mean by a negative sentence? A negative sentence has words like no, not, or never in it. So, in today's lesson, we are going to learn the interchange or transformation of affirmative and negative sentences. हामी आजको लेसनमा affirmative sentence लाई negative अथवा negative लाई affirmative कसरी बनाउने या change गर्ने हामी त्यो सिक्ने छौं. Now you can change the affirmative sentence into negative or vice versa in 4 different ways. र नानी हो, यो changing of sentences from affirmative to negative and negative to affirmative चाहिँ दुवै क्लास 10 अनि क्लास 12 को सिलेबसमा भएकोले गर्दाखेरि म यो चाहिँ डिटेलमा डिस्कस गर्न चाहन्छु र आशा छ तिमीहरूले ध्यान दिएर सिक्ने छौ पनि. First method is by removing the adverb to and using so that in place of it. For example, the news is too good to be true is an affirmative sentence. Now, if you have to change this, you have to do away with to in the sentence. So, the news is so good that it cannot be true. And this is a negative sentence. न हामीले यहाँ के गरेको छौं भने यो फर्स्ट सेन्टेन्समा एडभर्ब टु लाई हटाएर हामीले so that सेकेन्ड सेन्टेन्समा so that प्रयोग गरेर एउटा अफर्मेटिभ सेन्टेन्सलाई हामीले नेगेटिभ बनाएका छौं. हामीले हेर्यौं भने यो दोस्रो सेन्टेन्समा एउटा नेगेसन cannot को प्रयोग भएकोले गर्दा यसलाई हामी negative sentence मान्छौं. Okay, let me give you one more example. These oranges are too sour to be eaten is an affirmative sentence. Now, if you have to change this into a negative sentence, you have to remove the adverb to in the sentence and replace it by so that. Right? So, for example, these oranges are so sour that they cannot be eaten. And this becomes a negative sentence because we have a negation cannot in it. The second method of changing an affirmative sentence into a negative one is by the interchange of degrees of comparison. That you have to identify the adjective in the sentence. Example, money is as clever as Sunny is an affirmative sentence. And clever is the positive degree of comparison. Now let's change this sentence into a negative one by changing the positive degree into comparative degree. So, money is as clever as Sunny becomes Sunny is not less clever than money. So, not in the sentence makes it a -1.
I hope you are following what we are doing here, right?
Let me give you one more example. Ankit is the tallest boy in class is an affirmative sentence. And which is the adjective here? Tallest. And the adjective is in the superlative degree. Now we have to change this into a negative sentence by changing the degree of comparison. So the tallest boy in class. Ankit is the tallest boy in class. Let's change it into a -1. No other boy in class is as tall as Ankit. This becomes a negative sentence. So the adjective tallest, which is in the superlative degree, has been changed to tall, which is in the positive degree. So by changing the degree of comparison, we have changed an affirmative sentence into a -1.
Now let's move on to the third method of transforming an affirmative sentence into a -1, and that can be done by the use of but or no sooner than in your sentence. For example, only the attentive students can understand the lesson is an affirmative sentence. Now, if you have to change this into a negative, instead of only, we'll use no one, all right? And we'll use the word but in the sentence. So let's see how we can do it. No one but the attentive students can understand the lesson. And this is a negative sentence because it has no in it. So instead of only, we've used no one, and along with it, we've used but to change the sentence into a -1. Okay, let's try out another one. This time we'll use no sooner than in the sentence to change it into a -1. Okay, so for example, look at the sentence. As soon as he reached school, the bell rang is an assertive sentence. Now we'll change this sentence into a -1 by the use of no sooner than in our sentence. So let's see how. No sooner had he reached school than the bell rang. All right. So in this sentence, since we have no in it, it is a negative sentence. And we've changed the sentence by changing as soon as. Okay, we have replaced as soon as with no sooner. And when we use no sooner in a sentence, it has to be followed by than. No sooner than. So the negative sentence would be no sooner had he reached school than the bell rang. Okay, the meaning remains the same. As soon as he reached school, the bell rang. Now we'll see the fourth and the final method of changing or transforming an affirmative sentence into a -1 or vice versa. So the fourth method is by putting a word of opposite meaning after a negative word. Okay, we're using opposite meaning. Okay, word of opposite meaning after a negative word. For example, look at this sentence. He is an obedient boy. And this is an affirmative sentence. So what is the opposite of obedient? It is disobedient. So let's transform the sentence. He is not a disobedient boy. And the not in the sentence, which is a negative word, makes it a negative sentence. So the word obedient has been replaced by the opposite word disobedient. Dear students, just keep in mind one thing, that while you're doing the transformation or changing of sentences, you must not change the meaning of the sentences. The meaning of the sentence must remain the same, all right? Okay, let me give you one more example before we wrap up. All right, everybody was present in the class, and this is an affirmative sentence. So what is the opposite word for present? It is absent. Yes? Okay, so let's change this sentence into a negative one by giving the opposite of present, that is absent, and using a negative word along with it to make it a negative sentence. So look at the change. Nobody was absent in the class, and this is a negative sentence because it has the word no, nobody in it. Okay, that makes it negative, and in place of the word present we've written in the opposite, that is absent. Okay, so this is how we can change an affirmative sentence into a negative one by the use of opposite words. Okay, and placing a negative word in front of the opposite word. All right. So my dear students, we've almost come to the end of today's session.
And before we wrap off, I would like you all to remember certain things. र नानी हो विशेष ध्यान राख्नुपर्ने कुरोहरू यो ट्रान्सफर्मेसन अफ सेन्टेन्स गर्दाखेरि यो सेन्टेन्सको मूल माने सेन्टेन्सले के भन्दैछ त्यो मूल माने चाहिँ चेन्ज गर्नु हुँदैन. द मिनिङ अफ द सेन्टेन्स मस्ट नट चेन्ज. खालि त्यो सेन्टेन्स एक प्रकारको सेन्टेन्सलाई अर्को प्रकारमा हामी परिणत मात्रै गर्छौँ तर त्यसको मिनिङ चाहिँ चेन्ज गर्दैनौँ. सो दिस इज अ भेरी इम्पोर्टेन्ट थिङ द्याट यु मस्ट रिमेम्बर. Alright, most of the students make that mistake. When they change the sentence, they change the meaning of the sentence, and that is incorrect. So please keep that on mind. Alright, and class 10, there are a number of works to be done in your textbook itself. You'll find number of works related to this interchange of sentences, and even class 12. Okay, if you go through previous year's questions, you'll find a number of questions relating to transformation of sentences. So please go through it. If we had enough time, we would have done it out here. All right, and if you have any difficulties or queries, please let me know through the comment section.